What's poppin', guys? Welcome back to Sand Talk Sports. Let's talk about KD's drama with the Brooklyn Nets finally being resolved. The Brooklyn Nets and KD meet and they agree to move forward together after the Stars' trade demands. And I think this was not a surprising development for me because I felt like even though KD demanded a trade, even though he is still playing at a high level, KD is aging. He's 33 years old. He's had a severe injury just a couple seasons ago to his Achilles, and so with his ginormous contract, I don't think any team really wanted to pay the price, especially given that Rudy Gobert required 5 first-round picks. I don't see any team topping, like that, giving 6 or 7 first-round picks for KD. That's gonna mortgage a team's entire future. So KD was kind of put in a tough spot in the sense of he was demanding a trade, but no team was gonna want to meet the Nets' asking price, which I think is reasonable considering the fact that KD is still a star. And this result where KD kind of settled for his situation in Brooklyn, I think is going to work out quite fine for all sides, both KD, both the Nets, and the league in general, because had KD been traded to another team for a huge package, I think that's going to flip the whole league around, and it's going to be a dangerous precedence, because if KD, a superstar in the league, is able to demand a trade and join another team, then I think teams will be very afraid or scared because they're kind of in a sense losing power to these superstar players. So kudos to the Nets for holding their ground. And with KD now being on the Nets, committed to the Nets, we can't forget how solid KD is as a player. He is easily a top 5 player in the NBA. And if you look at his stats, his performances in the past 13-14 seasons, besides his injury season in 2019 to 2020, KD has been pretty much the best shooter in the NBA. He can get his shot off whenever he wants, and he gets it off at a very efficient rate. He is essentially a 50-14-90 guy who is able to play solid defense, contribute with the rebounds and the assists, on average like 7 rebounds a game, 4 assists a game, and he can block, he can steal 1.1 per game. So KD is a special talent, and although I kind of understand why he wanted to leave the Nets because of all the turmoil in the past 2 seasons with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, the reality of the situation is with KD staying with the Nets, they are a championship contender. Even though we haven't really seen them play any games, I feel like they are definitely a top 4 seed in the East in this upcoming season, guaranteed. And if you look at their roster, it's a lethal one, man. KD, Kyrie Irving, one of the best point guards in the league, his ball handling skills. And then Ben Simmons is kind of that X factor, that wild card. And even though there was lots of flack given to Ben Simmons, if he is able to show up on court, play to his previous level, and just improve his shooting by a little bit, this is a force to be reckoned with of a team, especially given that Simmons can provide a lot of superstar quality defense compared to James Harden. So I really like the top 3 players on the Nets, and then you add in a couple shooters, Joe Harris returning from injury, Seth Curry, Patty Mills. These guys can shoot the ball flat out well, and when KD, who is also a superior shooter, is getting double teamed, just pass the ball to Harris, Curry, Mills, easy shot, open shots. And then Claxton, he is an electric player when he's playing well. He can play power forward position, he can play the center position. I really like what Claxton brings to the team. And let's not forget Royce O'Neal. He is, I'd say, a lesser known player because teams don't really notice him because he played on the Jazz. But Royce O'Neal is that type of guy that doesn't really fill the stat sheet, but he is reliable and he plays defense. As you guys can see, he started every single game in the past 2 seasons for Utah. Solid numbers all across the board. He will contribute in a very low-key kind of way. And then you look at the rest of the roster, some decent guys with talent like Thomas, Sumner. But what I want to talk about is TJ Warren signing for only $1.8 million. I think because Warren was out for the season with a foot injury, no, people kind of forget about him. But when he was playing in the NBA bubble, he was essentially playing like prime Jordan, for that stretch. And TJ Warren, if you look at his stats, this guy can flat out ball when he's on. He can score points in bunches. I mean, for 1.8 million, this is kind of like a prove it deal for TJ Warren. If he plays well this season, I mean, he's gonna get that bag. And combined with the 3 top players, Irving, KD, Simmons, you got the shooters, you got the defensive players with O'Neal in there, and then TJ Warren. I mean, if you look at the roster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the top 8 players, and then Warren, that's 9 guys on the roster that are above average, that are top quality. So I really think KD staying with the Nets is actually a good result for him, because not only is he going to be less scrutinized had he went to another team, there's going to be less pressure, but if he is able to bring the Nets to the finals and even win the championship, the narrative on KD will change, because so far he's kind of still living in the shadows of his Warriors days. So this allows KD the opportunity to be the bus driver on the Nets, and should he play to his potential, man, I like how I feel like this season is kind of a make or break season for him, because Irving is on his final year of the contract, so he could leave. But if KD can make things work, his legacy will change for the better. That's my thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of KD staying with the Nets. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to live a spicy life. Peace.